All over this Archdiocese, our teachers are doing an extraordinary job in education and faith formation, and we simply want to say thank you. Jack and Rhodora Donahue found a way to do just that by creating the Golden Apple Award. In the great tradition of giving an apple to a teacher, we present the winners of this award with their own golden apple. They each also receive a certificate of recognition and a check for $5,000. Those chosen are selected by teachers, their peers, students, and by parents. All of this is a way of simply highlighting what we all appreciate so much: a great education by great teachers.
It's God's path for me, and I feel like He's given me this gift, and it's up to me to take care of this gift and do the best that I can.
Ms. Gaston has 24 in first grade, 14 boys and 10 girls, which is equal to 50 in real numbers for boys.
Kristen doesn't just connect with the educational component of a child, but Kristen connects with the whole child. She's concerned about the child as a person, both their faith component, their educational, but their growth and their development as well.
Miss Gaston teaches us about God's love and how He will always love us.
Mrs. Gaston somehow makes it real to them and passes on her love for Christ and the sacrifice that He made for us.
Well, I hope that they take away that God loves them and that God is with them every day and with them to make any choices that they make in life and to do the best that they can and be a good and holy person.
This is my vocation. I was called by Christ to teach, especially religious studies, and it's just very rewarding.
I'll always remember my time here at Gonzaga in Mr. Turner's class because he taught me to see the world, especially DC here, through eyes of other people.
Andrew is known for being a challenging teacher in the classroom, someone who really invites our students to think about their faith and really think about their faith in action.
I want them to understand that they're not alone. The most important relationship in life is their relationship with Christ. It's my relationship with Christ now that I'm becoming a man on my own, away from home and the comforts of family life, that I'll be able to navigate these challenging waters.
I'm just inspired by Andy. The way that he really lives his faith is an inspiration to those of us that work with him.
Thank you, Mr. Turner.
I never considered applying or working at a non-Catholic school because I wanted a school where God could be mentioned because He so permeates my life.
I can truly say that Martha Brock embodies to me what the Catholic school teacher should be.
I was not very interested in maps or in history and in anything that happened in the past. I kind of thought it was dusty and boring, but Ms. Brock is so interested in her topic, and you can tell that she's very engaged in her lesson plans and in her students.
I am passionate about teaching in general, but also because I realize it's a vocation. It's a calling. We all have individual callings, but we have a general call to holiness, and being a Catholic school teacher is a great way to live out that call to holiness.
Ms. Brock is not just a teacher, but she's also a friend to us.
Thank you, Ms. Brock!
It changed my life. It's made me a better parent, it's made me a better Catholic, to be able to do your job in the Catholic setting.
Ms. Taylor is a great teacher. She's fun and energetic. Ms. Taylor laughs a lot with us and makes us smile.
Mrs. Taylor really actually puts faith and religion, combining that with science, all the time.
I think it's really important for students to have a can-do attitude. Nobody's allowed to say, I can't do it. They can only say, I can't do it yet.
When I've come to Mrs. Taylor for advice, no matter what the advice Mrs. Taylor gave me, it always had some sort of Christ-like virtues behind it.
I think the most important reason I love teaching at a Catholic school is obviously just the freedom of prayer.
Mrs. Vanny's care for each student is evident to them by the way she relates to them, and at the same time she's challenging them to mature as they're transitioning to the next stage in their education.
As I head off to high school, the one thing I will remember about Miss Vanny is the little things she tells us to do and the little things she tells us not to do.
Vicky's philosophy, I'm going to show these kids that they do make a difference.
Mrs. Vanny's an awesome teacher, and she always has a different learning style for everybody because everybody learns differently.
If you can show them the relevance of serving others and the impact that they can have, it's a chain effect. They are just the reason, obviously, why I do this. And to be able to do it in a Catholic school is an incredible blessing.
Thank you, Mrs. Vanny.
At one point, I did think about leaving teaching and go into a computer career. And once I finished, I realized that I belong in a school. I belong in a place where I can share my faith and teach to the children.
David Floyd is a wonderful example of a Christian gentleman who lives his faith out not only at his home and his church community, but also in the school.
I don't know if he considers this the same way, but I've actually considered him one of my best friends, more than a teacher.
David Floyd really prepared my daughter for high school. She is at Pilates, and at Pilates they are fully integrated with the computer into their classrooms, and she is fully versed now in using the computer from the beginning of freshman year.
Being a Catholic school teacher to me is a chance to share my faith with my students, to be able to be a role model to the students, and prepare them for the future, especially with technology being as important in their lives as it is now. It gives me that opportunity to prepare them for the world and what they might experience later in life.
Thank you, Mr. Floyd.
Being a Catholic school teacher is probably one of the most rewarding things that have ever happened to me.
I like Mr. McQuilkin as my teacher because he doesn't stop until I know what he's talking about.
He is supportive, he encourages good sportsmanship, and he's a good role model.
Mr. McQuilkin is a man who also lives his faith completely in all aspects, and that is why when one of his students was going to be baptized, that he stepped forward to be the godfather.
When I had surgery, I said I want to get baptized, and he said okay. And then I got baptized. This is Hoffmeister, and Mr. McHugh was my godmother and godfather.
The reward, obviously, is to being able to not only share your academic talents and your personal experiences, but also, your spiritual understanding and relationship with God and sharing that with the kids.
Working in a Catholic school has helped to strengthen my own faith.
Mrs. Worrell is not one of our classroom teachers, but because she performs a special service, she touches children across the board in every level of our school.
I'll always remember that Miss Worrell is so nice and kind.
Mrs. Worrell, she's always looking beautiful at school, and she always helps me read if I get a word wrong or something.
Mrs. Worrell is very passionate in her teaching and dedicated.
She works with the students as well as with the teachers here to try to find the things that the students need the most help with.
I think being in a Catholic school helps you to talk with the children about using God's gifts, the gifts that they have, and each and every one of us have different gifts.
Thank you, Mrs. Morrell.
I've just always been drawn to Catholic schools. It's like a community, a family. It's small, and you get to know all of the children.
We end our day every day with a prayer in Miss O'Brien's class, and I like that because we get to learn about God outside of religion, and it's not just in religion that we're learning about God, so that's good.
I can tell Mrs. O'Brien has a very deep faith by the way she handles and takes care of the students. She's very kind and gentle and loving with the group as a whole and each individual student.
Miss O'Brien makes everything so fun and easier to learn. She helps me understand my work, and she helps prepare for the future.
One thing I hope my children take on is a love of learning and just to explore and to be interested.
I want them to enjoy learning. If they don't enjoy it, they're not going to want to do it. So we try to play games, we try to have fun all day long.
She tries to bring as much fun and laughter into the classroom as she can, whether it's a serious conversation, or it's a hands-on activity that they're doing, or it's field day that she helps plan every year.
I love the way that she's teaching long division right now, because at first I didn't know what was going on, but she explained it in little pieces, and now I understand it, and now it's a piece of pie.
I love to see someone being successful at something that they weren't successful at before. If I can do that, just a little thing, it makes, teaching all that worthwhile.
I love how every day in the morning we always say prayer with Ms. Coyle.
Trina is the closest thing to Jesus I think I have ever seen in teaching.
We have so much to be grateful for in our teachers. And so we gather to say thank you. Thank you for your commitment. Thank you for your dedication. Thank you for the great service you provide for our children. And may God bless you.